Masechta Chullin Daf Kuf Tesvav Amud Aleph. We're starting from Kuf Yud Daled Amid Beis. You'll see the second case is Divrei Hamaschal Kederech Sheparat. Go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between 5 and 6, you'll see the words Amar Avashi. Let me wait. We're starting now again from the taste of Divrei Hamaschal. You'll see Kederech Sheparat. The second taste is go down between 5 and 6 lines. And you'll see the words Amar Avashi. Zog Amar Avashi. You have it? Yeah.
What does he want to tell us?
He wants to tell us from where do we know? Here, it's very simple. From where do we know that Basba Chalav is Asba Achila?
We didn't know that till now.
We have Mekainis. We're bringing Psukim now. Here.
What is he coming with?
Here's the main source. It says Belashon Bishul. He's right. So why? Where do we know Achila? Where do we know that it's also Asba? No, we're going to get to it all. Should never, like it says in the pasuk, Lo Yisoichal Kol Teyeva. The Torah says in general, you shouldn't eat anything that's an abomination. Kol Shetiafta Lecha. Anything that I asked you from the Torah, that the Torah said you should distance yourself from it. Harei Hu B'Bal Teichal. He is included in Bal Teichal. So there, this is Ambas B'Chalav equals Teyeva. It's a Isser. And anything that's Teyeva is in the Isa of Bal Teichel, is included in the Isa of not eating. We only know that it's Asba Achila. Where do we know that it's Asba Anah? Says the Gemara, like Rabbi Avod, Rabbi Lazar, Kol Mak Shnema Lo Yoichal, or Lo Yisoichal, or Lo Yisoichlu, Echad Isa Achila, Echad Isa Anah B'Mashma. Whenever it says
three times.
What? No, he's saying wherever you find these Lishonis, Yoichal, Soichal, Soichlu, where it says Loi before it, it's not only going to be Asba Achila, but it's also going to be Asba Anah. Till the Torah will specify that it's mutter. Where do we see that the Torah specifies? Like the Torah says, Loi Seichlu Kol Nevela. So there the Torah goes back and says, but you're not allowed to eat nevela, but lagay b'nesina, you're allowed to have anah. You're allowed to give it over to Agir Teishav as a matnas chinam, or loiv t'kecham b'mechira, or you can tell a guy, you can sell it. So you see, you can have anah. The Torah says specifies you can have anah. Make me anah. But if the Torah doesn't say it, it's automatically not only is it going to be asma achila when it says lo yoichle seichlu, but it's also asma anah. Side in the pasuk will be mefadet as a mutter. The Tanya, Rabbi Avo brings a brayso that explains this whole maisa with lagei ben asinu loiv d'chav ben mechira. So we're going to go into how do we learn this pasuk. So the Tanya we learned in the brayso loiseichel kol nevela. It says you should not eat any nevela. Lagei asher b'shadacha titnana v'achola oy machala nachri. Ainly ella lagei ben asina loiv d'chav ben mechira. When you look at the pasuk. Even if you look at the pasuk, it seems like tzagei gitmen al tamatnas chinam, but tzagei verkaifmen. It's two separate things.
Well, why would you think for ger b'chinam? Why do you think?
Why ger dafke mechira and why? Because for b'chinam is by a ger teisha. Why? Because there's a tzibur in the Torah that v'chayimach. Yeah, you should help. You should help a ger teisha. But for the guy is nishtas atzibur. And I feel even for a ger, it only means something adava mu'et. The Taisa says it's only if it's adava mu'et. If it's something that's very expensive, du bist nicht mechutz verlieren deine Geld. But if it's something that's adava mu'et, then you're allowed. Oh, the Taisa brings it down. I'll soon show you. Okay, we're going to have it later. Talk to Yimara. So legeben and seal legeben mechira menayin. How do you know by a ger you can sell it? Says he want to tamad lema. Comes the pasuk and tells us, and he tells us vitza einsetzen the werte lager titnana oimache and stop there before you go to the lemachre.
You do both things.
For the ger as misyaches the werte from macher to the titnana. Which is misyachas to the ger. So the ger he can do both, give or sell. How do you know by a goy you can give it? So he says, then he takes the words and he plays with the words Titnana, and he applies it to the macher, which is connected to nachris. So
It tells you where you can put commas.
yeah. So nim says, so we find echad gev echad gecham beim mechira beim nesina divir hameya. So we say a goy, say a geir. You could
Why
either
does he say by a guy you should give it to a guy? Why can't you say guy should be always b'mechira?
b'mechira.
Why should you give money?
You could give a nesina. You could, but you're supposed
So the
to.
guy can say to you, "Oh, you have the veil, give it to me." And tell you to stay
A guy is there's no tzivah that you have to give it as a matana if you want. But you don't give it as a
Says that, we
matana.
can declare in the Torah, the guy can say, "But a guy should be always. You have to sell that, so should make some money. Why should you give it to the gear? Okay, there's he's living with you,
Right.
But why?
But
do you have
even
to be
by a
nice to the
gear,
guy?
it's
Why you have
only
to be
if
nice
it's
to the guy?
even by a gate, it's only when it's a davar mu'et. Only when it's a davar mu'et.
So the same thing by a guy that.
By a guy, you're b'chlamat. You don't have to give it to him at all.
But if you give it, it's only a David Moore also.
Yeah, but no, he's saying when is the tzigoi of giving it to a ger as a matana? Only if it's a davar mu'et. But something that's more expensive, he's not mechuyev.
So the same
Even
thing
though
by a guy, you don't have
no, the chayimach is only written by a ger teshuv, not by a guy. We'll go through it
But then
soon.
the guy could also be.
You could. You don't have to. You don't. You're not mitzvah not to give it to him.
This is a male.
This is all Rabbi Yehuda Advarim Kiksavim says no. You got to read it as it is. Ger is benesina kipshutei. That's it. No mechira. Mechira is lenachri. Ulayv gecham mechira. My time Rabbi Yehuda says, if it's talking like Rabbi says, it's both for each. So by the word this oi macher, what's the oi? Oi lamali, why does it say oi is vice? That's sefarachiluk with mafsik. Oi is by mechir, is by a guy. Shmami no, the bottom. Huh?
What was Amshacha?
Vav is Amshacha, yeah, richtig. Vav is Amshacha. Oi is mafsik. So he said, the Dvarim Kiksavam, who does? He's come to tell you, keep shooting like the way it's written. That's how you learn shot. Like Gabe and this, like the Cham Mechira. Oh, Rabbi Yamalacha. What does he? What does he do with this? The Hakim the sin of the Gabe and Mechira. If you have a choice to give a matana to the Gabe Teisha, who the Teisha Zak or the Tzufakayif and Tzagoi, which one comes first? Give it as a matana to the Gabe. Well, that is found at Tzivah from the Chayimach. Oh, but this is again, like I told you before, it's a davar mu'ed. I'm going to just try to find that thesis, but he brought down. Oh, thesis to be a masal ad. Mazun shaf hapisha b'derech klal aritz limker chayfens leiv gechab mein chayv lasis ois bechinun lager teishav oy afilu yisol ani darf man nicht verkaufen. You don't have to give it lechinam. Shoyna davar b'nevela be'eretz yisol mikina sheina nevela shav ela davar mu'ed. Different. Nevela is different because it's a davar mu'ed. Kein sham habe nachm sheyiknoise mitzvah lavata alois shav mu'ed kidei leitem.
Even the guy wouldn't buy it.
There are not many goyim that will buy it, so it's not worth that much. So if it's not worth that much,
Should give away
you give it away better to the gay teishav, and
Depends
you'll
what
win.
size is in the Bela. It could be a small Nevela or the big Nevela.
Okay, we're talking about that. It's not worth that much. Here, I underlined it. V'dafke ben the Veda Be'eretz Yisrael she'ein eved yichavim etzim sham v'im ba l'meichra le'eved yichavim tzarech litna b'damim mu'atim nesinis ger kaidames av a pshit she'im yesh chayfetz la'adam limker kaidem she'im kaidem yim kiran le'eved yichavim ma she'yitnan ha'afil l'yisrael chaveirei. If it's something that's worth a lot of money, you should sell it to the guy even before you give it to your friend who's a yid. Okay, zog the Gemara. Rabbi Yehuda, what is Rabbi Yehuda? What will he answer?
Have some room, person.
Yeah. So Rabbi Yehuda, what does he know that you have to be magdim by a davar mu'ed to give it nesin l'gay before selling it to a guy? Because Rabbi Yehuda says what is right is lechalik, and there's no limit for oid. You're learning kipshutam. Says Svaru, says Pashtas Dach, Atam Tzulach, Yesei. By a gay Teishav, it says gay v'Teishav Chayimach. It says v'Feish Tzivui v'Zeh. But the goy Atam Tzulach Yesei. There's no Tzivui. that you have to
Mechayah Zayim. You would do it.
Yeah, okay, but there's no tzivah. So now, Simen, we're going to learn about Shabbos, Chodesh, V'Kalei Zoyim, Oisves B'nai Shluch HaKan. Then we're going to talk about B'Nageya to, when it says Lo Seichel, it's supposed to be not only Asa B'Achila, but it's also B'Ana. So the Gemara is now going to ask from these cases. In fact, the Gemara Elamayata, only according to you, when it says Lo Seichel Neveila, you said it means that it's Sai, when it says Lo Seichel, Sai Asa B'Achila, Sai Asa B'Ana. I got a problem now. Ma'is Shabbos. Somebody does an act of a melacha. He does a melacha on Shabbos li'tasu. So let now, because of this melacha, let's say he cooked something on Shabbos, should be asa b'achila. And we know why? Because the hot, the after the it's a melacha that David said, don't do it. So don't do any abomination. And he did it.
What's the after is?
And the halacha is only the one that did the melacha is asa. But for hacherim is mutter to essen. So what are you telling me that loy seichel means that it's also asbana? It's not about
The people eat.
Over here by Shabbos we have a special, like a zeidus hakosov. It says a shmatim sa Shabbos ki kodesh hi lachem. What does it mean ki kodesh hi? He means the Shabbos soll sein kodesh. Aber ve'ei maser kodesh. Aber the bishul the meisen was at giton. Was er durchgetan mit der Essen? Das hat sich kein Kiddush. Kiddush mean Isa, or man darf sich mafrisch sein. No, there's no. Right, it's not. It's only Shabbos is Kiddush. Okay. Chodesh, v'shoy v'chamer, it says, lo yachrish, shoy v'chamer, yachdav. You're not allowed to plow a shoy v'chamer. Kalayim, yeah. Or, chesed v'kvara v'dashba. You're not allowed to close the mouth of the cow and make him work. That's lassen. So, yeah, and if he made them, if they did the work, the Sher Chamir Yachdo, he was Choisem, so Litasu Zol the Essenbag, Zoin Osse, because he after he did an abomination, and we said Kol Shet after Lecha, Sai Osbachil, Sai Osbano, so it should, why, and we know it's not so, we know you're allowed to eat it.
It doesn't make sense, just because you had the two animals working together. But the animals couldn't eat it.
The kilayim, but the abomination was done through them in the food, so that maybe the food should become asa. So he says no. Others say it goes on the behemoth itself, but we're not going to go through that. So the Gemara hashta now, Umar Shabbos Chamida. So the Gemara says very simple. Madach Shabbos is much more chomer because Shabbos, the honorish, the punishment is kares, versus the Isa of Chsimis. Chsimis means the muzzling, the shoy, bedisha, while it's doing the plowing. There, it's a much lighter punishment. It's only malchus. There's no kares over there. So, by Shabbos, what we say, it's the achila, the maisa. The achila is mutter. Like kosh came da, there's no anish kares. Of course, it's going to be mutter here. So, you want to kilay lezroyim litasu. When somebody takes two different seeds, right, wheat and barley, he puts it together. And he makes tarovis from me. Oh, first I want to tell you, Basa B'Cholav, we can't say, let us learn now Basa B'Cholav from Shabbos. As Basa B'Cholav Zayin Mutter B'Achila. Nein, Basa B'Cholav is Gohandish. Basa B'Cholav is a Chetze Shalisa. Dort hat getan a Meise, is ein Zach. He did a Meise, which was awesome. But the Chetze is not a double awesome. By Basa with Cholav is that's a Chetze Shalisa. So that you cannot learn out from Shabbos that it should be Mutter B'Achila. Zakti Mar Klei Azam Litasu. Let by Klei Azam also become Asa. That after Lechahu he did something which is a Teyeva, and we know it's Mutter. And from the Gemara with the Galil Achman Lagabi Klei Akeren. From this that the Torah told us when you mix in a geffen in the Kelayim, state Pen Tigdash. What does it mean, pen tigdash? We break up the word, pen tukad eish. Tukad eish means that you have to burn it. That if you made klai akedim grow, then you won't stop from verbrennen. But that's only if there's a geffen involved. But klei zroyim, miklau is gedrungen. You can imply from here that klei zroyim is sharu. But if it's klei zroyim, zroyim, if it's only zroyim, it's going to be mutter. So that's how we answer. It's not asa b'achila. If it's asa b'achila, you taka right, it's going to be asa b'ana. But it's a mutter b'achila versus kerem is asa b'achila. In fact, how do you know? The chilik tzivishim klayim mit Kerem und Klei Zorim is nicht nur Achila. Maybe both are also Achila, and by Klei Kerem is also also Bana, and Klei Zorim is Mutter Bana. And yes, Vetzelik the Kasha, Leiseichal applies by Klei Zorim, there's a Isav Achila, and but you say Bana is Mutter, and we said no, what's something that's also Achila, that was Einos Bana. But in fact, you want to Klei Kerem, Asurim Bein Bachila Bein Bana, Klei Kerem is also Nishna Bachila, but it's not, it's even also Asbana, and Klei Zorim Bachila Asidi Bahana Sharu. And the difference will be by Klei Zorim, Bachila will be Mutter, Asr, and Bahana will be Mutter.
Why do you want to say this? Why do you want to say Klei Zorim?
Because we want to bring out the kasha. You said whenever it says something you're not allowed to eat, it also includes that it's also Bahana. So if we would answer that by Klai Kerem it says Pentuk and Eish, which means Asbachila, but by Klei Zorim is Mutter Bachila, you don't have a question. It's Mutter Bachila, that's why it's Mutter Bahana. But if you say, no, what's your ayah? Maybe they both are Asab Achila. And the Pentuk and Eish is going on the Anah. By Klai Kerem, in addition to the Isa of Achila, there's the Isa of Anah. And by Klai Zorim, is only Asab Achila. It's Sirik the Kasha. So there's a Isa of Achila, but it's Mutter Anah. It's supposed to be both. So if you want to Iskis L'Kaya Behema, he says that the Klei Zorim is compared to Klai Behema. The Chsiv, it says, Behem T'chaloi Sabiyah Kilai. Benegay to Behema is putting two, how do you say, cohabitating two different minima Behemas, putting together two Behemas, is Loi Sabiyah, is Kalayim. You're not allowed to put two different animals. Sot Chaloi is a Kalayim. It's in the same pasuk. So we make a Hekesh. Hekesh means we compare one to the other. Ma behemtecha hayetz mimenu moteres. Ma just like by behemoths, if it's two different minim, the min that comes out of it it's mutter to eat. Bachila. It's mutter bachila for sure. It's going to be mutter ba'ana if it's mutter bachila. Avsatcha hayetz mimenu mutter. So too satcha we'll compare it, and that's so it's mutter bachila. You couldn't say it's going to be also bachila, but mutter ba'ana. We see from the pasuk that it goes together, and we compare Sadcha like Tiza. Kilayim, we compare it to Behemcha Loisabiyah, where just like by Behemcha Loisabiyah, the behemoth that comes out of the Kilayim is Mutabachila, so too by the Sadcha, by Zoyim is going to be Mutabachila. So you have no question. But you want to climb Behemoth Gefayim and Allah. How do we know by climb a behemoth that it's mutter, that whatever comes out of it, it's something, and we said something that it's the kol shetiach, because anything that's abomination, they said don't put it together. Two different minim together.
It's two kosher minim, no? Are you talking about two kosher minim?
So what? Two different minim is a tayeva.
It's the same Isa.
Huh? It's the same Isa, sure. So if you want to also from this that the Torah said, Kilayim, the Torah is giving you a special command. It's forbidden for Akrova al HaMizbech. It's forbidden for the Mizbech. Is Arayah only there? But Meklal the Lahediyat Shari. But it's we can derive or imply that if it's just for Hediyat, it's mutter. So you see, if it's non-Hegdish, it's for Hediyat, and it's mutter.
It's lighter.
It's lighter. By Hediyat is lighter.
Otherwise, if we didn't have this limit, we would say that's also
right. Yes.
Anything that came from
anything that is toyeva, anything that's abomination is supposed to be asabana also. It says you're not allowed to shech the mother with the son on the same day. So litzer, it should be also side no, right? And we know it's not so. We know you're allowed to eat it. If somebody eats it, it's mutter to eat it. It's just you're not allowed to be back on the mizbeach. So you want to do also achmanu mechusas man l'gavaya. From this that the Torah asid mechusas man l'gavaya. Mechusas man. This is called mechusas man because you wait one more day and it's not the same day. Then you can bring it as a carbon.
Right.
And we had before Isbenay is also called in the Geda mechusas man because you can wait one more day and then you can be makav as a carbon. So you want to meklad the lahediyat shari. So from this you could imply, but if it would be for Hadjit, it's mutter. So that's where you know it from. We're talking about Hadjit. I don't know if I told you the story with
what is this? It's a lab?
Huh?
Oh, you say B'nai
Oh, it says B'nai is a Isur. You're not allowed to show. Yeah.
The same
That's
day.
all. It's all allowed.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Any
more.
baby. Any baby.
Any behem is
Show
Isur.
is that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's all. But there's no
So
other
it's-
Easter.
It says you're not allowed to do Oisves, but you're not allowed to shech on the same
So
day.
it's 11. You get
Lois
Malchus for
Tishchatu.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Malchus, it says. Anyway, by Hedjid was saying Hedjid is mutter. So there was a story. Chassidim came over. I said the story. I'm not sure. Chassidim came over to Reb Chaim Brisker, and sie haben gefragt, Reb Chaim, a fire. They wanted a light, a cigarette.
On Shabbos?
No, nicht Shabbos. A fire. Das hat geämpft. Die Chassidim seien allein a fire. Das ist. So die Chassidim haben geämpft. Aber Mitzvah Little min a Hedjid. A fire is fahren mit Gavaya. Who's not Hedjid? Is he gleich gelaufen zu Rabbi Yosef Behez, der Tate? Oh, Itchel. And he told him, ruf mir, a Hedjid. Hat er gesagt, lass mich sagen. Wir fangen dann alle Tzadikim und alle Chassidim. Lechero hat man gedacht, anfangen mit alle Chassidim.
Später als er nicht.
Später alle Tzadikim. Für was fängt man an mit alle Tzadikim für ihr? Man soll gedenken, man soll nicht anfangen mit Chassidim. Man fängt sich nicht an. Okay, anyway, sag dir, what is Shiluch HaKan? Leitza, Shiluch HaKan. What's the Shiluch HaKan? A tzipper that, here's this two pshatim over here, he brings down. Let's say you have to send away the mother.
And then you continue.
And then you go, but let's say he took the mother. It was over the Issa. So he was over there, he said, you can go back, put back the mother, and then send away the mother, right? So this is a Issa that he did a Maisa. So, but this, Rashi doesn't want to learn this pshat because he can learn from Shabbos. A Maisa Issa doesn't make it Osabana. But there's another pshat is that the Etzem Zach, that the mother is sitting with the babies, and there has to be shluach from the aim is likdot na iser. When the mother is there, is no good. So it's a iser chetzer. He wants to say
It's like a cruelty thing.
it's yeah, but the etzem zach that the mother is there, it's already called a iser. He wants to call it. I'll use the lashon if I see it over here. So he says, even though he didn't do any aveda. But the etzem zach that the mother, when the mother's with the baby, that's already the isa lik dotten. The isa is dotten. Until you send away the mother, the isa is there. So it has a din of isur.
In other words, there's an Issa b'shas.
So he says the Issa doesn't go.
There's an Issa doing.
There's a Issa sitting there. There's a Issa sitting. He considers the mother as a chavtza shal Issa. So the Gemara says, "Litza, let it be asaba achila." So you want to lay on a Torah, shalach letakala. The Torah didn't say. The Gemara said. The Gemara said, "Shalach to shalasayin." If you're going to say that the mother has a chavtza shal Issa, how could you send away the mother? Somebody else finds the mother, eats the mother. It's a takala. So for sure, when the Torah said shalach to shalach, esaim, it was only for good reason. Here also is a famous.
What's a good reason?
That he's not going to be even aveda because he'll be a takala if he sends away the mother, and the mother is already a chetz shalisa, and somebody finds the mother, it'll be even on the Easter takala.
The Easter is immer zugenommen die Kinder.
The Easter is the etzem zach was the mama sitzt mit the kinder.
Aber der Easter, Wolle von einer, wenn kommt hier, erst mal wegschicken. Der Mann.
Als man schickt da weg the mama,
Mag
man nehmen die Kinder, aber the Mama hat schon the Namen Easter.
Die Kinder können nicht nehmen Vater.
Sicher, ja.
Heute hat ja genommen die Kinder von der Mama.
Das ist eng Schat.
Ich wusste dafür erst, ne?
Können zurücknehmen die Mama und wegschicken noch einmal.
Dafür wegschicken.
Ja, ja.
And I bring the mama of the kid.
Yeah, but das will er nicht lernen, that shot. Because if he took the mother and then he brings it back and sends it away, he says, Atake uv Yitana Isur. If das heißt, Yitana Malacha Isur, wo bei Shabbos hat man gelernt, das ist Mutter Ba'ana. Es ist Azeli Shabbos. Es ist nicht kein Chetze, Shalisa, wir können allemal nehmen zurück die Mama und dann wegschicken weiter.
Aber er hat schon getan, der Easter, er hat schon genommen die Kinder.
Aber nimmt zurück the Mama. Here, he learns that you take back the mother and you put it back and you send away the mother. You put back the mother in front of the kids and you send it away. But that's like Shabbos, that's going to be Mutter Ba'ana. So he learns Pshat, the Etzem Zach was the Mama sitzt mit the Kinder, is Fana Isud was sitzt dort. So he wants to learn it's a Chetze Shalitza. Yeah. So what does the Rashi say in Chumash? Shalach to Shalach is a aim. Und durch dem wird man sicher sein, zu Kisivna bei Ischodosh, was ist Michael Legagecha. Wie kann es sein, dort zu brechen nach Stuhl, und durch dem wird man sicher sein, zu bringen nach Stuhl. Sag mir, Schale sein, geht auf den Schwieger. Schale sein, Schicker, ja, was ist okay, anyway. Sag die Gemara, Shiluch HaKan.
Who told you that?
Okay. So, Loi, Amr, Tere Shalach. Okay, Amr, Shlakish. Shlakish had said, Menayim Bas B'Chalav, she also, how do we know Bas B'Chalav Bishul? We're talking about, it has to be cooked first. And then that it's also B'Chilu B'Hana. So, the Gemara Tamalim, it says in the Pasuk, Al Teichlu Mimenu Na Uvashel Mevushel. It says a double Lashon. Shein Tamalim Mevushel. What's the extra word Mevushel coming to teach us? Ma Tamalim Mevushel. Telei Malach Lecha. To tell you, Yesh Lecha Bishul. That there's another type of cooking, Shu Kazeh, that's similar to, that's Asabach Libano, like by Korban Pesach. Because a Korban Pesach has to be tzli. Mevoshel is pasul. And it's going to be Asabach also. So what's the other bishul that he's referring that will have the same thing as Korban Pesach? Basar B'Chalav. Basar B'Chalav. It's going to be Asabach also. Amalei Rabbi Yechlan. Ki'udazu Shoshana Rabbi. What Rabbi had learned, the Zayin Limud, from where we know that it's Asbano is disgusting. What's wrong with Rabbi's limud? Where did Rabbi learn it from? It says Lo Yisechlenu. That's by Psuli Hamagdoshim. Over there it talks about the Isa of Dam. It says Lo Yisechlenu to teach us that the Dam is also, but we cannot be teaching us about the Dam is also, because about the Dam being also, we already know from previous psukim. So what's actually Sechlanu come to tell us? But Bas B'Chalav HaKasmedaba. The Torah's come to teach us about Bas B'Chalav. But you're saying he's coming to tell you about the Isa Bas B'Chalav, that it's going to be Asma. No. How do you know that? Maybe he's talking about a different Isa, nothing to do with Bas B'Chalav. So Amarta, we learned. We say in the Rabbi Yishmael, you say, come and let's learn out from the 30 meters that the Torah is Gedashin. Dava halam and minyane. One of the things is you learn out something from its inyan. What is the pasuk of Lo Yisechlenu talking about? It's talking about Bishnei Minim, meaning Psulei HaMikdashim that were redeemed. So Psulei HaMikdashim that are redeemed are considered as two minim. If you redeem it, it's taka chulin. But on the other hand, it has a din of kachim, as you know, like ziza is going to be aser. The option, the vol is aser. Afkan, so it's two minim. You have sai kachim, sai chulin. So you talk. The pasuk is talking about two minim. Afkan, when it says loisichlanu, on another iser, when you have an extra word loisichlanu, which is not going on that inyan. So it's going to teach us a similar case, which talks about Shnei Minim, which is the similar case of Shnei Minim, Basar B'Chalav, to tell you that by Basar B'Chalav it's going to be also B'Sai B'Achil B'Sai B'Ana. Zog the Yemar, so what was wrong with the Rebbe's drasha? Why do we have to learn it out from the extra word Mevushel by Psachim, by the Kam Psachim? And the Yemar, if we would learn just the drasha of Rabbi, I would only learn out that it's also achila. I wouldn't say it's also kamash malon. That's why we have the actual word mevushel by psachim to teach us that it's also asbana.
So we need two places.
We need two places. One for achila, which is over here from the dam hamikdashim, from the psul hamikdashim shenivdu, and we also have from psachim where it says the actual word mevushel to tell us that it's asbana. But Rabbi who did dashin the tafshel abas v'chalav from Lo Yisechlenu, and he did not use the psul hamikdashim. So b'hanam and alei, how does he know that it's asbana? So he says nafkel. He learns it out from here. It says them kan by bas v'chalav. It says ki am kadosh atal Hashem aleikacha lo yisavashel gdi b'chalevi. But it says the word am kadosh. V'nem alahalam b'negei to one of these surei biyah. B'negei to forbidden relationships. It says v'lo yiyeh kadosh mibnei yisol. It says so. It's yes, yeah. It's in Kisei and it's Exeda Shava. Ma'alahalam, just like v'lo yiyeh kadosh. It's talking about b'hana b'negei be'ila. Stam to live with a woman. So the be'ila is talking about hana. Afkan, so too by the gate of the Isa Bas V'Cholov is Ba'ano. It's not just Ba'achila, it's going to be us Ba'ano. The Vei Rabbi Lezer Tana, the Yeshiva of Rabbi Lezer, and the Beis Medrash of Rabbi
Does it
Lezer.
say Am Kaddish Hashem to take by Bas?
By Bas V'Cholov, it starts off. How does it talk? Am Kaddish Hashem, Loisim Hashel, or Hashem Lekecha Loisim Hashel, Gidei B'Chalevima. Yeah, that's the pasuk. Am Kaddish Hashem. Okay, so you want to the Vei Rabbi Lezer Tana. In the yeshiva of Rabbi Lezer, they learned. Where do we know that Bas V'Cholov is us Ba'anah? So they learned it out from Leiseichlu Kol Nevela. This is the pasuk we spoke about before. La'ger Asher v'Sharecha Titnena V'Achola Eimachar Lenachri. Right, and then it says Loisav Asher Gedi B'Chalei. So from this that it says Loisav Asher Gedi right after selling the nevela to a guy. So Amra Teira Kishitimikirena. What? Nachamal? No, that's the Vei Rabbi Yishmael. The Vei Rabbi Lezer, the one right before it. So Amra Teira, the Teira said Kishitimikirena. When you sell the nevela to a guy, only when could you sell it? Loit Vashlana. You should not cook it in Cholov, Visim Kirena, and sell it. Because it's asbana. Only if you didn't cook it in basmachal, then it's going to be mutter. Because it's all in the same pasuk. It says, "Lo yisaychlu kol nevela." Then it says, "Lager b'nesina." Right? Lager shem b'sharachat titanana. And then it says, "Va'achol oimachal nachri." And then he ends off, "Lo yisavashal gedim chalevimai." Some more words in between. Same pasuk. So we learn out. In connection to this, mechira is only if it wasn't cooked, bas b'chala. But if it was bas b'chala, then you cannot sell it. Okay, the Vei Rabbi Yishmael Tana. This is the one that we follow. It says lo yisavash g'liba chalevi may shalish b'yamim. It says it 3 times. Shmais chavtes. Then in Perik Yud, Perik Chav Gimel Yutes Lam Dalet. Anyway, echlis ha'achila, echlis ha'anav, echlis ha'bishul. It comes to tell you the 3 yisurim. Sagt jemand, we learned in the Braise. Is ben Yehuda Ima. Menayin Bas B'Cholov Shasa. How do we know Bas B'Cholov is Asa B'Achila B'Ano? Says the Gemara, Never Kan Legabe Bas B'Cholov. It says Ki Am Kodesh Ata. Never Halon, and by the Isa of Teifa it says Am Kodesh Tiyulei Tiyulei Ubas Basada Teifa Lei Seichelu. So by both it says Kodesh, side by Bas B'Cholov, side by Teifa. Mala Halon just like by Teifa Aser. Avkan, so too by Bas B'Cholov, it's also.
Also b'achila.
Oh, ve'enli ela b'achila. We only know that it's us b'achila. B'hana menayin. How do we know it's going to be us b'hana? So Gemara, Amarta kavachema. You make we said a kavachema. Uma orla shalei never ba'aveda ma dechala, where there was no aveda committed. The Allah was just if the first 3 years of is Allah is also nishma set epis tana ma'isa aveda. I said, well, no, we say it's still asbana. Basa b'cholov, shenevda b'yavera. He did a ma'isa avera. He did a pula from Bishul. Ein din sheyeh asbana. Zildav zayin asbana. For sure, it has to be asbana. Allah is different. Shekin loy hoysel shas hakaisha. There was never a time that it was mutter, that it should be mutter.
It was always also.
It was always asa. And Mashain came by Bas b'cholov. There was a time that it was mutter. So you can compare. To Allah, you can't make the Kavach Chema because Bas B'Cholov has
But you won't get Malchus from a Kavach Chema.
we're not talking about Malchus. Now we're talking about the Isa of Ano. So Chametz B'Pesach Yechiach. Chametz B'Pesach, there was never a Shas HaKosher, right? I'm sorry, there was a Shas HaKosher. There was a Shas HaKosher. There was a Shas HaKosher. And nevertheless, it's going to be Osmano. So too by Bas B'Cholov, it's going to be Yosana from when he cooked
Just
it.
because you found by Pesach?
Even though it had a Shas HaKosher before that, he cooked the Bas B'Cholov the Kevin. So Chametz B'Pesach, I understand that it's going to be Yosana because it's so severe. Somebody eats Chametz B'Pesach, the punishment is B'Kares. But by Bas B'Cholov, it's only with the Abanon. It's only, only Malchus. Okay. So the Yemara Klaya Kerem Yechiach. This the Klaya Kerem. Somebody who does who mixtures. He makes a geffen with fu and yerek. There's a onish of kares. So he says sharei. I'm sorry. There's no kares. I'm saying everything the wrong way. She'ain onish kares. There is no punishment of kares, and nevertheless it tells about no. It's just like by basar chalav. Okay. In fact, you want to lovingly gzeira shava. Why do we need bechlal the whole gzeira shava to learn out from treifa that it's us ba'achila? Learn out. Laisik kula. Let us learn out everything. Bekavachem Allah. Allah sayas ba'achila. Sayas ba'no. Why did I need the gzeira shava from treifa to say that basar chalav is going to be asa ba'achila? Well, I can learn out from Makavachim from Allah Saya, Achila Saya, no. What time is Maidav? 1:15. Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, okay. There was no Aveda done. It's just the natural that it's Asr from its the first 3 years. Asr it's I Asba Achila and Ba'ana Basar B'chalav Shenev the Aveda. Where there was a Maisa Bishul, he did a Maisa Bishul, I didn't say Asba Ba'achila, Be'ma'achila, Be'ma'ana. It shouldn't be for sure Asba Ba'achila Ma'ana. Says the Gemara, and for the Gemara, Mishum Deikala Meima, Chodesh B'Shei Chamer, B'Chois Pi, Para, B'Dashba, Yechiach. Because these cases, Shenev the Ba'aveda, they did a Maisa Aveda, he was Choisem, or he was Yachreish, he put the two together with Shalom. He said it's going to be mutter. The mutter ba'ana. Okay. So the Gemara, I think we're going to have to stop. Okay.